What is up, everybody, and welcome to Spectator Mode Podcast 191. As you can see, I have returned, and now Matt can't talk shit about me. I mean, it's not going to stop him if he wants to.
I mean,
Not like I didn't hear what he said.
yeah, you were playing Outerhaven
Right.
dishes everyone all the time, like you always do. Yeah, that's
I was taking care of some family matters, and as you heard before the show started, I may have to go take care of some family matters involving a small rabbit. So I feel like Neil chasing the white rabbit. Awesome. Anyway, we got my buddy Matt here, who's here to talk about games, and of course our other buddy Scott.
Howdy.
I feel like crap because the sun is beating me down. It's really bad. It's like 98 degrees. It's crazy. It's not even summertime. It's like, hey, that person that said global warming doesn't exist, you are a moron. It's really hot right now. Really, really, really hot. I think somebody might have found it. We'll see. I think they're screaming over there. Anywho, let's talk about everything that we like to talk about on Spectator Mode Podcast, the best podcast in the world, talking about gaming and the gaming industry, and of course, wow, geek culture. Can't even talk. I blame that on the sun. I don't see games. Oh, there you go. I was blind. It's zero. Zero. What?
Of course, we pasted over it, so I just added another number and named it 0.
Okay. Because at the beginning of every podcast, we talk about the games we played and stuff we have watched. I'm going to go reverse backwards here because I'm going to start for myself. I've been watching more of Lazarus. If you have not watched Lazarus, it's basically from the gentleman who created Cowboy Bebop. And it's kind of like Cowboy Bebop in modern era. I know people probably hate that summary, but it's pretty much what it is. Sorry. It is what it is, and it's just like that. In terms of games, yes, I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring, Night Ring. I've been helping people play that game. Been playing a lot of the demo for Ninja Gaiden and Ragebound. I've been comparing it to my hands-on with Shinobi or Revengeance, and is it No Vengeance? Excuse me. And I might do a write-up of that. I'm not 100% sure about that just yet. There's a lot of similarities, but also a lot of differences. Matt, did you watch the videos that I sent you?
Yes, I've seen the videos you sent me, and I'll if I can talk about it, I'll talk about it.
Okay. Well, we'll let you talk about it later then, I guess. Other than that, just a couple indie games, going back and playing games I played before. I have one game I cannot talk about because, NDAs and embargoes and all those fun things. I don't want to get in trouble with the powers that be, so I won't talk about that. That said, I know you probably got a shit ton of things, Scott, so pass it over to Matt.
God. Okay, so games I've been playing the last couple of days is Marvel Rivals. I've noticed that there's been a lot of people trying to play, I had to call it DPS Luna. Please don't play that play style if you know what you're doing. Where you don't know how to aim, okay? And Luna is Diet Hella, but with healing. And if you can't aim with Hella, what makes you think you can do it with Luna? That's it. All right, Absolute Cinema. Okay, that's in my head. I've also been playing a bunch of other games on my feed. Yeah. So basically, I've been playing Griftlands. Apparently, there's an update with all my trophies are gone, so I have to get all my achievements back in Griftlands again. But I could speedrun that game since we played like years ago. It's a card roll, like beat 'em up. And I've been playing Capcom Fighting Collection because I had an urge to play the Punisher. I want to play the Punisher, beat 'em up. And that's pretty much all I've been playing between last 2 days. Oh, and Final Fantasy 14, God's Gift. Yoshi has always blessed us. We got a new PvP map, and all is good in the world of Glam Fantasy 14. So I keep it that shit. And TV watching, I haven't watched much of anything in a long time because I've been focusing on gaming and reading comic books and manga. So I haven't watched anything. I'm supposed to watch.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I'm supposed to watch Thunderbolts, but I haven't had a chance to. And it's probably out of theaters at this point.
The new Avengers.
I can know that. Okay, I'm gonna correct you in there. They cannot be the new Avengers because they're villains. They're the Thunderbolts. They were created by Baron Zemo. Okay, let's not get into that.
It's not the Thunderbolts.
Well, it's a Thunderbolts, dude. It's a Thunderbolts. Anyway,
so many times that we had the Thunderbolts as a team in Marvel Comics. I mean, we even had one with Luke Cage on it.
Yeah, that was a '90s one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
he's a hero. Actually, having the Thunderbolts.
Yeah. And now then they're Avengers, which I'm happy for, unironically. I hope it gives them exposure. And I hope people would read the Kurt Busiek run, which is godlike. So, I support that.
All right, Scott, what you got?
Alrighty, so the first to start out, one that I can now actually talk about is I've been playing through the newest update of Phasmophobia. I will say though, I was been trying to find people to team up with on it, and it did not go well. So I did a lot of solo runs and realized that I suck at this game solo. But the new update for Phasmophobia adds the Grafton farmhouse map is now different, and it also adds a whole lot of new quality of life stuff that helps with taking evidence, recording sounds, footage, video, and photos of now the ghosts and all of the ghost events that you can get. And honestly, I think it's a really good update. If you're someone who is worried about Phasmophobia and you just don't like some of how archaic it can feel, this update actually helps you make it feel a lot less archaic. There's a lot more modern controls and schemes you can now have with it. And things make a lot more sense than just having star ratings, because now they actually have numbers around how much money you get for each picture or video. And they also implemented a new feature, basically, that the more unique you have, the more unique things you have, like say you have a footage of a ghost or a footage of a footprint, those are both unique things. They give you a specific amount of money. But if you just take pictures of like what some people do of just taking nothing but footprints in the salt, then it gets you less and less money each time you get another footprint. I've also was playing through the Chrono Odyssey playtest. That was this weekend. That was honestly a game that's very ambitious, but I also think that it might be too ambitious for being an MMO, because it works fine when you're in like the solo areas, because there are like bosses and stuff you get in solo areas. But when you get to like the overworld, there's a lot more problems with how things are running and the performance of the game itself. And a lot of people had issues because, as I did say in support safe scumming, there is a problem they have where they have like no basic features for NVIDIA cards or for AMD cards. So the graphics cards have to be very powerful in order to actually run the game. So if you're someone who's in a 3070 or lower, good luck.
Oh, back up. I just shout out to you for mentioning support saves coming, and you did talk about this on that podcast. And just to reiterate, this isn't like the developer made a comment. I think they said like this was an old version of that game, and I'm like, what? That was such a weird. Again, I still say this. The weird thing to say. That's all I gotta leave it from there.
Yeah, it's apparently a year-old alpha build for this playtest, but it's just going to be interesting to see how much more polished the newer versions can be. But at the same time, it's just like there was a lot of issues where people were overestimating their PCs. Let's just say that.
That's putting it nicely. I think.
Yeah.
A lot of this is my opinion. If I think I'm the normal PC guy, that I got my PC built and I put a lot of money into it, blah blah blah. I'm gonna say a number here. This is not exactly. I put $3,000 in my computer. I didn't put $3,000 in my computer, but I put roughly that amount. My PC should be god tier. That's how a lot of people think. It's like it's a lot more than that. I think you were saying on the Spectator on Support Saves Coming, the best podcast. You were saying that you could have the wrong GPU. You got the high end processor but a wrong GPU, and I'm like, holy, I didn't know that. And I googled that.
You have to make sure that you have all the right parts. You have to work on having a good motherboard that has better connections. You have to have a good GPU and a good CPU, and that doesn't include all like you need to have good Ethernet port cables. You need to have actual good like Wi-Fi and network adapters in your PC. Like, there's a lot of things that go into PC building. Let's just say that.
Let's not forget the fast-ass RAM. Come on now.
Yeah, you need fast RAM. That's another big thing, especially because people are going to get super confused of like, how come this DDR4, DDR5, what's the difference to that? Or then they have like the different speed per second that doesn't matter to some people, but it's...
You don't want to be the guy who goes to the store and builds a new machine, buys all these parts, gets the wrong memory, come home and go, well, I have DDR4 and it supports DDR5.
Yeah.
Back to the store we go, please.
There's a lot of problems that can come from PC building. That's one of the reasons why, if you are planning on building a PC, make sure that you have someone who can help you with that PC build, or at least looks over the parts. Because if you don't have someone who's looking over the parts, you may realize that you have a part that's incompatible with your builds.
Yeah, shout out to Pro2K, my future brother-in-law. I told you, but thank you for helping with that. I had no jack stuff. I was like, here's some money. Here's some things I want. Just all I need.
Yeah. So Chrono Odyssey, I think it plays pretty well. I think it is best when it's in the solo areas, like the boss areas. But I think there's still a lot of issues that need to be optimized for, and they actually need to implement like DLSS or FSR if they're planning on having this big of a rig in terms of how graphic they want on this game, so that they can actually have people upscale it to look well on their machines.
Yeah.
Otherwise, most of the game that I've been playing has just been continuing my run through Bravely Default because I'm trying to, beat it so I can actually write a review on that game. There is one last game, actually. One game that I've been playing because has been a game called King of Meat that we were able to also demo at Summer Games Fest.
Can we talk about that?
We can talk about it as officially as midnight tonight, technically, but tomorrow. So,
you're counting for the podcast tomorrow, guys.
Yeah. I'm thinking ahead.
Yeah. So we anticipated that this podcast will probably be out 6 months later. So don't worry.
Wow, that hurt. That really hurt.
Yeah,
I just imagine it'll be a day later, but basically.
I could have put it together tonight. You never know that. I have done that.
You have, but
I have so many things going on, and as you heard, now I got to go look for a rodent after the show's over. Like, what?
I feel like you have a lot on your plate today.
Hopefully, somebody doesn't have something on his plate. There was something. Yeah.
So, King of Meats is one that we actually got to go see at Summer Games Fest. It was actually interesting. This is the unannounced Amazon game that was announced at Summer Games Fest, but we can actually now talk about that we played. But essentially, it's a very community-driven game where it has like obstacle courses that you have to go through with up to 4 players. And you can it's either like a fighting obstacle course, or there's like just like puzzles that you can do. And sometimes if you have like what's known as like the spicy levels, you'll have both of those things. You'll have obstacle courses you got to figure out with puzzles, and then you have to do a lot of like fighting challenges and arenas that can even end in like boss fights. And the recommendation for these like spicy ones are like 4 players. So when we were at the Summer Game Fest, we were able to have 3-4 player matches. So we actually got like the full experience, it made it really fun and really chaotic. But I got an early access key to be able to play it after that, and I've been playing it solo, and it's a little more difficult solo, but it's also I've been doing a lot of the like weapon tutorials and stuff because you get like extra currency from doing that. So they help you do like some of the combos with all the weapons you get access to, like swords, the knuckles, the different guns and ranged weapons you get access to. All those are pretty fun to try and play as. I'm still very much a sword and shield user, though. It's just, I always feel like that's the weapons I gravitate towards. I think it has the potential to be a really fun game.
I think it does.
Yeah.
After what we've seen and what you played at Summer Game Fest, I think it will be a hit.
The problem only I can foresee is because it's such a community-driven game, it needs a lot of interaction within the community.
It reminds me of Super Mario Maker.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me.
Yeah, it will require people to play the game and utilize the creation tools, which the creation tools are really easy and simple to use. So that I don't think we'll have a problem with. I just think it will have the problem of they need to have a lot of people in the beginning to get people more interested in the game.
Yeah, definitely on that one.
But otherwise, yeah, I think it's going to be a good game. It's going to be one that actually Amazon Games, I think, did a good job picking up rather than constantly just localizing more and more MMORPGs.
Yeah, it like you said, it's going to be interesting to see how this game does and how the community gravitates towards it. I think it's going to, at least at the very beginning, because it's new and it's doing something I haven't seen a lot of in this space. But then the map creation is going to be the big thing.
Yeah.
How, like, are you going to have a guy who's going to make these super ridiculous levels that people are just like, I can't beat it? First, did you have these guys that go, I want to beat this level and show you that your level sucks?
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Otherwise, there's only been one show that I've been watching, that I finished at least, and that is Scavenger's Reign. It's a show that came out like I think 2 years ago. Yeah, it was really good.
I watched that like 7 or 8 months ago. really good.
Yeah.
I'll let you talk about it. Really,
It's
good.
really good. Like it's interesting because like the premise in the beginning is just all of these. This ship is basically careening and gets like destroyed from like asteroids, and then they have to get the escape pods to then go down to this unknown planet. And then as they're in this unknown planet, you get to learn not only about the planet, but also what the heck happened on the ship that made it lose focus and lose like traction. And you start learning that is one guy who decided I am better than the captain, kind of a deal. And he gets to relive his PTSD of that decision the entire like 10 episodes of the series. It's crazy how much like he goes through because of this one choice. But yeah, it's really impactful, and it does a lot of really well written like subtle things for like the world and the characters. And it's one of those shows.
Scott, give me a second, Scott. I'm sorry. Come here. Yeah, Bruno, not you. Bring it. Yeah.
Here we go.
We found
this part out. You're my daughter, and I love you unconditionally, but you drive me crazy. You left the ball. Shit.
This is edit.
Yeah, just a second. I'm sorry. We have to interrupt this. This is the bunny
the one that's been causing you all the trouble today.
So, for those people who are watching this, I'm an animal guy, and when I was cutting grass, I found 2 baby rabbits. Unfortunately, one of them died. We have the second one. We have been taking care of this rabbit. And last night it got out because my younger brother took him out. And now this guy, now he got out the box that my son had. And now he's just going crazy. Oh, we can't keep him. We have to take him to a wildlife shelter, unfortunately, because, but I'm going to take him to a vet to see what the vet says. I don't think my kids are ready for
bunnies.
A rabbit. He's gotten away twice now.
Yeah. Jeez.
He was under my TV stand.
Yeah.
I think he wants to be a gamer.
Oh, now you gotta keep him.
We got him. I was kind of happy. Reminding him. Okay.
All right, guess we're not doing that.
All right.
You might like a bunny. You might want a bunny, Matt. It'll be awesome.
I'm not an animal person for many reasons, so that's not even into that.
That's fair. Not everybody are.
Nah, not everybody.
I'm sorry, Scott. Continue.
Well, yeah, so Scavenger's Reign has a lot of cool things to do subtlety with their storytelling and at the narrative direction it takes. There are some things that it will bombard you with, like messages that if you don't like see the subtleties, it will tell you basically straight out that this is what's going on, especially the very ending. But I think that's one of my favorite things about Scavenger's Reign is a lot of the storytelling is very subtle, and it's very just the world itself kind of tells you the situation.
Let's be honest, Scott. Be honest. It's very WTF.
It is definitely very WTF. Like there is a lot of also kind of like visceral things that happen on the planet and like with the creatures. And there's a lot of gore and violence, or not really violence, but lots of gore that can happen. Like,
yeah, it's the weird show. It's definitely a weird show. I started watching it, like I said, 8 months ago. I was like, what is this? And I watched it. The first time I watched it, I was like, okay. And I stopped after the first episode. But then my wife was like, what is this? I was like,
fine.
I don't think you're going to like this. And then we just started watching. And at the end, we were like, wow, what did we watch? Apparently, there's going to be a season 2, but we'll see about that.
Yeah, it had to go to Netflix apparently to get a season 2 because HBO is still doing that we don't like animated anything.
Right, which, classic Warner Brothers hating the thing that is one of their core audience.
Yeah.
Let them speak their truth,
Let us get our Young Justice season 4, you bums.
Greg Wiseman. It's the Greg Wiseman curse. You don't want that. Every show he works on is canceled.
Yeah. But yeah, that's been the show that we finally finished. I actually started Scavenger's Reign last month, but I didn't want to talk about it until after I finished it. We finished it like 2 days ago.
Well, I'm glad somebody else has wandered onto that show and watched it and enjoyed it. Now I have somebody I can talk to about it. Nobody else here has watched it.
I could say is Cayman sucks.
It did a great job of making you hate that one guy
Yeah.
who calls all this.
Seriously.
I hate you. I really hate you, guy. This is all your fault.
And you start feeling less and less sad for him as he's in his predicament. Because like, no. You are. This is literally the consequences of your own actions.
Yep. All you. I don't care about you. Please die. All you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Show. Oh man, that show just had me in my feelings. I was really pissed off.
Yeah.
Anywho, continue.
That's it for me.
All right. Well, it's just us three, so let's go ahead and mosey on to. Looks like we are revisiting the price of the upcoming Asus ROG, not ROG. I've heard some of you people say ROG. I'm going to stick cat after you. You're going to be pissed. Xbox handhelds. And as I have in these notes, this shit is going to be expensive.
Yes.
So we have some people that are talking about this are downplaying it, saying that Xbox is going to eat the cost of these.
No.
This is not happening.
If you believe that, I'm deeply worried for you as a person. Like, I mean this unironically.
This is the Asus ROG Ally X. This is $899.
Yeah.
You're going to be getting an upgraded model with a better chipset, better GPU, better CPU, updated. What would we call this?
Ergonomics stuff.
That terminology.
Yeah,
what's the right terminology when you get to hold it and it changes the way it feels? Not aesthetics. It feels better in your hand because it has a grip. So we'll leave it at that. There's the low end terminology of it. It takes everything that this does and the Ally and does it better. Same 7-inch screen.
This is the Ally, by the way.
Yeah, there you go. So it's that one too.
Ally,
it's basically just taking those two, that and this one, and upgrading it with a better processor and a better CPU.
Yeah.
Better processor and a better GPU, and making the shell a little different. That is it.
Yeah.
Not to mention, it's going to be an updated CPU, GPU that is more expensive.
Yep.
And they put an Xbox button on it.
That's going to be at least another $10 for that Xbox button.
Oh my God. Imagine it's going to be more than when you put racing stripes on the car.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't see this thing being cheaper than $800.
Yeah.
And if you want to play nice, $700. But for people that are thinking this is like $400, $500, we just got the Nintendo Switch 2 for $500.
$450 or $500 if you want it with a game.
So we are not getting this Xbox handheld, which, by the way, is not an Xbox handheld. Xbox ditched their plans for their handheld. This is Asus. They basically went to a company that made one and was like, hey, guys, help us out here. We like what you're doing. Can we jump on this? This had nothing to do with Xbox originally.
No.
They are jumping on something that already existed. Let's not get this twisted. And I'm not hating on Xbox. I'm just being honest with you. This is what it is.
And it's not hating, it's facts. I mean, Xbox. You don't really have to do a lot of. You don't have to do a lot of work to hate on Xbox. Reality would do it for you. It's not even a joke at this point. Like, come on.
So this is going to be expensive. Low end $700, high end $900.
Yeah.
They're not going to eat the cost on this. They're not doing it. No, they're not doing this. Don't even get fooled. It's not happening. Yeah, it's going to be very expensive. And jumping onto that point, this whole Xbox and AMD partnership, I had some very negative things to say about that. I'll let you talk about it first, Scott. I think this is very dumb.
I mean, I think the interesting thing is I don't think it's going to change anything that they already do with AMD. The only difference is now they're just having AMD talk about Xbox now. Usually it's just Xbox talking about AMD the whole time. And so it's going to be interesting because a lot of the time when you'd see like AMD talk about specific companies, whether it be Xbox or PlayStation, is more about the games that their chips are able to handle. Like we saw like Death Stranding 1, AMD talking about how they were excited to be able to have someone use like their chip to the fullest capacity and all this. So a lot of the time that AMD even talks about companies, it's not really with the company in mind as much as it's about the games that they intend to actually reflect those. So it's interesting that AMD is talking about Xbox, but I don't think that this partnership is going to actually do a whole lot differently than that they're already doing right now. Because all of the Xbox systems, regardless if it's going to be new or old, are just going to be AMD chips again. So it's just it's just AMD chips are happening again.
So when we had this conversation, that was basically what I said. I was like, what is the point of saying this other than being PR speak?
Mm-hmm.
Xbox One is AMD chipset. The Xbox S is AMD chipset. The Xbox Series X and S are AMD chipsets. The ROG Ally, see, I trained my brain to say ROG. ROG Ally is AMD chipset.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't understand why you're making a big deal. This is AMD chipsets. And for those people out there going, Keith, you're a hater, let's look at the technology side of this.
I mean,
Xbox
back up. Again, you're not a hater. You're presenting a reality. It's an Xbox. You can
No. I mean, this is going through a different revenue, a different way of looking at things. Look at this, guys. There's 3 big players in the market right now. There's AMD, there's Intel, and there's NVIDIA. NVIDIA does not care about gaming consoles. They have never cared about it, with the exception of the Switch. And I don't understand that deal between them and Nintendo. It's kind of like NVIDIA's like, take our old shit. We don't care.
Yeah.
So there's that. Intel is not in the race at all.
They are not.
You do not want their stuff. It is not good. And you're like saying, Keith, you know what you're talking about. I come from an IT background. I come from an MSP background. I come from a data center background. And the amount of people that are pissed off for Intel chips is ridiculous. Trust me, you don't want that in there. Scott, too. You don't want that in your shit.
You do not want Intel chips.
Okay? There are people that are like moving from Intel, moving to AMD's EPYC processors. You don't want it. AMD. Then you got Xbox and PlayStation who have been dealing with AMD for years.
Yep.
You know, AMD is the only name right now. So for Xbox to come and go, we're partnering with AMD. It's like, well, you already partnered with AMD.
And water is wet. Thank you.
You've been partnering with them since the Xbox One. What? What? Why would you? Wait, what was in the Xbox 360?
What was the Xbox 360 chip on
I
there?
don't remember what was in there. And now we look to find out. Because I know what was in the original Xbox.
Yeah. I can only find the mod chips, not the actual CPU chip.
Oh, it's funny. So what was in the original Xbox 360, and I say original, was when they first launched, it was IBM PowerPC. Remember those people?
Yeah.
And then they were using the ATI Xenos. ATI. Do you know what ATI is anymore, people? Anybody? It's AMD.
Yeah, it's just old AMD.
So they were still technically working with AMD way back when.
Yeah.
So this is no surprise. I have nothing against Sarah Bond. I think she's a great person. I just hate the fact that she gets pushed into a lot of situations where it's like, duh.
We do PR talk for the company because people like looking at you more so than the other two.
So it's not me going, I don't like what Xbox is doing. I just, hey, look, this is PR speak.
Yeah.
For people, and I get it. For people like us, we're like, what? You've already been using AMD. Whoop de freaking do. But for people that don't know, like, oh, this is great news. They've been already using AMD for years, guys. It's not.
If they really wanted to have an event like this that was actually going to like get people excited from the IT side, it would have been like an NVIDIA deal of that pushing an NVIDIA GPU on the next Xbox.
I would have lost my shit if Xbox was like, we got NVIDIA. Like, okay,
now we're interested.
That would have been interesting, but no, it's the same old song and dance. Sorry, it's nothing new. Mazel tov.
I mean, help AMD just like Sony helped AMD develop the FSR4.
Right? It's just we're just getting into a deeper what is that word? I keep forgetting these words. A deeper partnership.
Yeah.
That they will develop something that is more on the Xbox side of things, and AMD will work with PlayStation, as you mentioned, to do something that's more on PlayStation side of things. So we'll still have the baseline AMD that we have in PCs, and then you'll have one over here for Xbox and one over here for PlayStation. But guess what? They're still the same platform. They just have different features.
Yeah.
Hey, I guess that works.
I mean, the irony is
Sure.
the one who benefits the most from this is AMD, able to basically copy all their tech that they learned from making the Xboxes and the PlayStation to make their chip better.
So what you're saying is that the PC gamers will win in the
Yes.
I heard that.
Yes, gamers winning, sure.
But yeah, so that was it, guys. I just had to get that off my chest. It was bothering me a lot. But you know what else it bothered me? As I put the timeline in here. So I stumbled onto a website. I'm not going to name who it is. Yesterday, and we were talking about should the price of games be factored into a review. And emphatically, I was like, no, that's stupid. Why would you factor in the price of games into a review? Now, I think when you're doing a review or an impression about a game, it doesn't hurt to talk about the game. It doesn't hurt to go, well, from everything that I played, I don't think this game is worth, $80 or $70. But that's not me telling you that this game is fantastic because it's $80 or it sucks because it's $80. I'm just saying I don't feel that it is. I'm not telling you that this game should be worth X amount of money because that doesn't make any sense, especially if you look at a game like, say, years from now, you go look at this review and go, this game was worth $80 when it was released.
Yeah.
Why would you put something in there? It's not going to
like I like people trying to say price that can like put like a class level to it. Like, to me, the term when I review you is like it's more bang for your buck. Like, but the thing is that's such a hard line thing to say. Such as like, I'll give a perfect example. Metal Slug Tactics. Metal Slug Tactics is probably one of the best tactical roguelikes in the market right now. It's more bang for your buck because it has more content compared to other tactical roguelikes like Destroy the Dragon or some others that I played, right? So it's like, it's better than those games, and it costs more. So that's more bang. Is that more bang for your buck? Again, it feels like a really weird way to have an argument about, well, a game's price point also affects his ability to enjoy it. Like, I don't think so, but, do you, buddy.
That statement right there is exactly what I was seeing, and that makes no sense. The price should not factor in your ability to enjoy a game, right? That's just silly talk.
It really
depends.
Yeah,
I spent $100 or $1,000 or $100,000 on a car versus somebody paid $100 on a car. I mean, sure, it looks cool. It's got all these different bells and whistles, but for a person to say this car takes me from A to B, it's what's the difference in that? I don't understand the difference.
No, exactly. It's problematic in that regard. I think like you get what you pay for in quality, and sometimes it doesn't represent the best way. Like I'll be honest with you. I've had a premium burger that costs $24, and I
my god,
I had a premium burger that costs $24. I'm just using an example. I didn't actually do that, and then I bought a burger that was $8. I was bought at $12 or $6. I mean, it's $8, $12. That was better than it. It's really up to the person. So if you think price is that much of a hindrance to you, you gotta. I think you got to start thinking. I mean, it's one of the things. Are you thinking? Like, are you thinking?
Can I ask a question?
Shoot.
Can you really say that about food? Because there are certain food that you see. I'm
no. Yes, you can say that because food and video gamings are personal enjoyment. I like spice. I like spice.
That's fair.
There we go. See, Scott, this is why I go for the lower tier logic and higher tier logic when I talk, because I know I'm going to talk over people's heads. So I might as well go the dumbest way I can. So the dumbest way is think of gaming and food as the same thing, because they're both pleasures you enjoy. Me, Caribbean man, has a huge taste of spice food, and I love certain sweets and things I eat, like pickles. I'm pretty sure pickles, which is like cabbage, vinegar, blah, blah. You guys are not down for that, but for me, that's an enhancement.
I love pickles. What are you talking about, bro?
No. I'm not talking about pickles. I'm pickles. P-I-K-I-L-S. Pickles. That's a Caribbean food. I'll ask Mo later, okay? Ask your wife later about that.
I'm going to ask her, what is this, Mo?
Yeah, she'll be able to answer you. Don't worry about it. But the answer to that is that, like, people have preference for food and put that higher for other. Like, some people think that the more hot sauce a hot wing had, the better it is. Some people think the better it's baked, the better it is. I cannot take that differentiation. That's between interpersonal, right? So if you're going to make a price point a determining factor for a game, that's a different thing. If you're like, really, let's say you're a cheap ass gamer and you don't want to play what's popping off right now? Deltarune. Deltarune is like $25, I believe, right?
Something like that.
But it's like, yeah. Oh, let's say 3 months down the line, there's a sale. Deltarune goes down to $10. Oh man, Deltarune's a great game. I got it for $10. Was it a great game?
That was my logic. That was my logic right there. That was what I threw into the argument. I was like, so the game coming out and it's $70, and you're saying, oh, this game is terrible because it's $70. And I'm like, okay, but I got it for $40 from CD Keys, or I got it for free because I reviewed the game. Does that change my enjoyment of the game?
Like I said, it takes away artistic merit. This is the term. This is the breaking whole comment. The artistic merit of a video game or any piece of art should not be tied to its monetary thing, how much it costs,
exactly,
how much it makes, or whatever. What you can say is that XX company wasted $100 million to make slop. That could be openly said. That's $100 million, and you made actual, argumentatively true slop. But we will get that's a whole different thing another time. But the blow up about that is like if you get into the weeds of it, like that's kind of a problem. So it's like no, I don't think a price should be made to. It depends. If you also you can argue that let's say there's multiple versions of the game. Like the version of the game I played was the super special awesome like Bolt Hunters pre-mode. And then like, you have so much content in the game. I guess that affects what you play versus the base value of the game. That's a real argument you can have, but it's just like, yeah.
I just thought it was an interesting conversation. I didn't agree with a lot of stuff that was being said, but it was an interesting topic that made you think a little bit. And obviously, no, it should not be tied into a review. It just doesn't make any sense because it just adds in so many different variables that just don't make any sense. Again, monetary value. Just because I paid $20 doesn't mean the game was top tier versus I paid $90 and all of a sudden it sucks. Like,
it gets it really murky, especially when you factor like the opposite angle. It's like, what if a game comes out at like $2.99? Does that automatically make it like a 5-star game because it has 10 hours of content for $3?
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Or a free game, like what about premium games? Like, and then that's a whole different argument.
It's instantly a 5.5 because it's free to play.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah.
or look at Claire Obscure Expedition 33. That game came out what was it? $40?
Yeah, it was a $40 or $50 game, I believe. $49.99 when it first came out.
Okay, and they came out giving people how much enjoyment?
So 30 hours is the base, and then you can do another 30 hours for completionist stuff. And that's just one
that's
playthrough.
Basically that's in the same tier as a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
To a certain degree, yeah.
Depends on the Final Fantasy game, I guess, because there's some that can take 300 hours sometimes.
But you get what I'm saying. It's an amazing game, and for how much it costs, and it just throws that whole conversation out the window. So I don't know why people were thinking that should be a thing. I totally don't think it should be. I'm pretty sure everybody here is in agreement that should not be a thing, but totally shouldn't be a thing. Sorry, guys, we don't agree. I do want that freaking collector's edition, though. God damn it. The mono set. I have not played the game yet.
Oh, yeah. That collector's edition looks good.
And it went fast.
I don't know when they're restocking or if they're restocking. I know they're restocking the standard edition. Because that one goes... Yeah. So, yay.
GameStop, we usually not get along.
No.
So anything else, guys, before we move on? You know what? I got to say this. When I was gone last week, you guys had a 2-hour podcast, which was amazing. And it seems like we're just chugging along here. Is it me?
I think it's that I also took like an hour just talking about what we did at Summer Game Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did that. It was fun.
There's a lot there.
I do have a topic that's not on here that we will talk about at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't want to tell you guys about it. It's a secret.
We got the surprise package.
Yep, we do. So we have another topic here, and I think this is a big, and it's actually a very important topic here. Let me just put it here, 39 minutes. It's all about mental health. And this is something that's very near and dear to me. because back in 2021, I lost my mom in May, and then I lost my brother in June 2021, and I lost my shit. I could not handle it. Between that and where I worked at a MSP, which is basically a multiple service provider providing all different types of IT services to people. I could not focus on my job. I was forgetting things. I couldn't. But when I was able to sit down and play certain games, it helped me relax. It helped me distress to a certain point. And I thought about that not too long ago. And I was like, gaming is really good for people who are having issues with mental health or the fact that they're just completely stressed the heck out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to know from you guys, what games do you play when you are stressed out? And do you feel that gaming is overlooked when it comes to mental health and helping people that have issues with mental health?
Alrighty. Well,
Okay.
I guess I'll go first because this is something I actually deal with at times too. The game that I go to whenever I have like a big emotional distress, or if I just have something angry or sad or just something I want to get out, I usually actually play any of the Dynasty Warriors games, the Musou genre, which makes me feel like just, I don't know, at times it feels like mindless, but at other times it makes me focused on what I'm doing in a game. And it's a lot of just going around to a certain place, just knowing what I need to do. So I do think that mental health itself is definitely something that is overlooked in the gaming space. We're starting to see more and more stuff regarding that in terms of indie games, but we haven't really seen that much with the AAA spaces. But yeah, I do think that there is definitely games people go to when they are in different emotional states or different levels of stress. Especially considering I'm the JRPG guy who likes putting so much calculations and so much like effort into building a character. So sometimes it's nice just not have to worry about building a character and just go do defeating all the random people in Dynasty Warriors.
All right. What about you, Matt?
Okay. So this is my honest hot take. I don't use gaming to de-stress. I don't. Because here's the thing. When it comes to like gaming, and I'm playing gaming, it's to do an objective, and that objective could stress you out, even if you're playing something chill. I play games to complete them to learn stuff, so I don't really do it to de-stress. So that's not what I do. Like, if like you, Keith knows for years I play fighting games. You think it's a good idea to have someone that's pissed off at me playing 20 hours of like, I don't know, Third Strike Online or playing, Grand Blue Fantasy? That's not a good idea. No. So play Final Fantasy 14 online. I got not happening either because I'll be doing that. Play a roguelike. No, because I'll be turning my brain on to full to calculate the odds and do things like that. So no, I don't play games to de-stress. If I'm stressed out, it may work for some people, but it doesn't for me. If I'm stressed out, I do something else. I watch TV, I read a book, I stay away from things like that because gamings are based around objectives. You want to complete those objectives, you put your focus to it. Even if you master a game to its high end T, such as, in my personal opinion, I've mastered I want to say Balatro at a high level. I could play Gunblade Returns, I these card games, blah. Even on playing it casually, it's like, no, because I'm putting focus in it, and they're like, oh yeah, my RNG is bad, and I'm already stressed out, so I'm going to focus on that. So no, I don't use video games for mental health at all. That's not me. It works for other people, but not for me. So that's it.
And that's fine. Everybody has different situations. It definitely helps me a lot. For past things, like when I got stressed out or pissed off or I needed some time down, I would just jump into Dark Souls 3. And I know a lot of people, Dark Souls 3 does not sound like a game that helps you distress.
If you're not playing to win, then yeah, of course not.
Yeah, I'm just playing to go through.
Exactly.
I'm going through the game.
That's the thing. So it's like, yeah, if you're not playing to win, then yeah. You don't have to worry about nothing.
Yeah, it's just, I know every little nook and cranny of the game, every boss weakness, how to meet the boss, XYZ. But it's just, there's a reason why I have over 1,000 hours in that game, why I own every different copy of Dark Souls 3 across the platforms, because it's a game that I truly enjoy, and it just makes me feel good. It's weird, but it does. So I definitely do think that gaming and mental health is overlooked. I definitely do think that gaming helps people, and it's been shown that people are like, look, I'm stressed the hell off, but I can just sit into a game, play it, and I'm good to go after a while. And that's why hospitals are actually using gaming for mental health. So,
Oh yeah,
there's definitely a correlation there.
Yeah, I could actually talk about that as a kid. So when I was younger, I was a sickly kid. I was sickly, yeah, and my body was dying, all that jazz. There was I was in a hospital. The hospital name changed, so I don't know what's the name now. So I'll leave it as that, not to dox myself. And there was a kid who was in the children play area that could play video games. They had Final Fight 1 there. They had Tactics Ogre, the 16-bit Nintendo one, and a bunch of other stuff. But those two I remember particularly. And there was a kid who was I don't know the name of the fear, but it's a phobia that's afraid of needles, right? And this kid was super afraid of needles, but they had to reset your IV every day. Back in the day, IV your needles, pull out the needle. They didn't want you to get infected. So they put a new needle in and then put the medicine in, all that jazz, right? So this kid was very afraid of needles. And luckily, I was there playing Final Fight like a psychopath, trying to get the high score because some guy where his name was ASM. I don't know who that guy was, but he had like, I think 30 million and no deaths. And I was like, there's no way. So I wanted to beat that. Again, objective-based thinking. So I'm going through that, and this kid was playing with me. I didn't care. I mean, if he dies, I can get more points from his dying. I'm a horrible person. I was that way. That was me 12 years old. It's the same guy now. So he had to get his IV changed, and he was scared. And while he was playing the game with me, the doctor came by, moved his hand a bit, and he was just totally calm, got a new shot in. I even heard the sound, you know what? Nothing happened. He just continued playing. It totally de-stressed him from getting a shot while we're playing Final Fight 1. So I definitely know the power of it. I agree. It's very helpful for people. I mean, as a child, they had it in the children room where you could play card games or whatever. They had Super Nintendo, there's like Genesis, and they de-stress kids for doing that. And I think it was really helpful. Problem is like for me personally, that's not what I do to de-stress. Because I play games, I want to beat them. But I never play a game like, I'm going to sit and waste like 3 hours of my life not getting anything done. I'm sorry. Years and years and years. So, but I definitely see the effect of that like that. So that's a personal story. Like that kid got hit. And by the way, every time he had to get his IV changed, I kid you not, the nurses, the one who says, hey, Silius, would you want to go to the room and play video games today? And I said, but I play all those games. They started bringing in new games for that. That's how I play Fatal Fury 2. But yeah, that's what happened. That's actually what happened. And I think that's kind of cool. So, I think that it could take your mind for some people. For some people, it works for them. I'm glad it works for them. Better than the alternative of not working. It's better than the
It's definitely a powerful alternative to other things. I mean, and gaming isn't just the only thing that distresses me. I could sit down and watch Transformers anime movie like forever, forever. Forever. I've seen that movie so many freaking times, but and I still hate the fact that it killed our Prime because what
they had to.
They wanted to get more money for toys, whatever, guys.
They want to sell the Rodimus Prime, man. That was everyone needed a Rodimus Prime.
Who sucked in the end. So.
Yeah, sad part is to this day, I never like they put this guy and it's like he was like the most moody like hero I've seen in my life. I don't feel it.
No, Rodimus Prime was terrible.
Yeah,
I mean, if anything, could have gave it to Ultra Magnus. You just gave it to Rodimus. You gave it to
Ultra Magnus. What his own name? That felt uncomfortable, That's how uncomfortable. He would say his own name in like every conversation. Is I Rodimus Prime, and I don't know how to feel about that. That made me feel uncomfortable.
But yeah, it was just something I wanted to revisit because I know it really helps me out a lot, and I still think about my past a lot. So I to calm me down, I play a game, or if my wife is around, she gives me a big hug. But she's not around a lot because she works. So gaming it is. So it helps me out a lot. Or play with my dog, who doesn't like to be around me all the time.
Yeah, your dog.
Anywho, my dog is weird, but he's a good dog. He's good.
Listen, dog.
Say again?
Is it not Courage, a cowardly dog? You see the dog?
No, I couldn't have a dog like that. He'd be gone. No, he'd be gone.
Wow.
In a second. Especially when he yells. No, he's gone. He's gone. No.
Oh my God.
So there is a game that I really enjoy or really used to enjoy, that being Monster Hunter Wilds.
Mm-hmm.
So this game is getting review bombed on Steam, and I think it is for a good reason. I don't agree with review bombing a game, but I think maybe that is a big way to get somebody, mainly the developer's attention about the status of their game. And people are doing this because they're frustrated over the performance of the game. Now, I don't want to say just Steam, because people playing on Xbox and PlayStation are also having issues with performance.
Yeah.
And it's something that Capcom has refused to address. When I played Monster Hunter Wilds for review, I stated that, even though I had a pretty powerful machine, there were issues where I would encounter stuttering and low frame rates. And I was like, yeah, Capcom will hopefully drop a patch when the game comes out and we'll be good to go. No, they did not. They did not. They dropped, I think, 1 or 2 patches. They said, hey, we are observing the performance issues and we'll address it at a later date. This game came out on February 27, 2025. We're not in June, almost in July, and there is no update to address the performance issue. And when I say performance issue, I kid you not, man. When you play single player, it's bearable. When you play online, which is majority of the game, and you're in the hub, and your frame rate just drops to 20, 30 frames per second because everybody is around you, and it's like, what is going on? It's just terrible. Sometimes you're out in the world and other people, the frame rate just drops, and it's like, Capcom, bro, what are you doing? If I'm having these issues and I have a top tier GPU and CPU, how do you think other people are feeling that have a lower spec PC?
Yeah.
People on PlayStation are having major issues with the performance.
You know what
people on Xbox have been. Go ahead.
The Zappo is like, so when I built my PC with my future brother-in-law, great guy, I got a free copy of Monster Hunter Wilds. I never played it yet, and I was seeing YouTube videos because I was looking up how to play the game because I don't want to embarrass myself. Again, objective-based. I'm not going to waste my time in a game I don't want to play. So I'm watching tutorials, and then I saw a bunch of other videos saying, hey, this game has performance issues. Here's some hacks, get around it. And I saw those videos populate my feed when I was looking at Monster Hunter. Then people tell me how to play the game. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And then here you're talking about it. I'm like, oh, this is fantastic.
It's okay. So it's not a bad game. 2, I need to get you out of that. And I know I probably can't. When you play the game and you play like shit, I get it. When you're playing, when you're playing with regular people? What about when you're playing with me and you play like crap? Is that a big deal?
No. It's not that. It's that I want to learn how to play the game so I can know what it does, because I want to figure the thing out of it. Like, for example, like I think I told you how much I grinded Absolium to have my opinion of the game. That's there. Monster Hunter, I haven't played a Monster Hunter since I think the one for the I don't think I played a Monster Hunter. The one since like the one for the PSP/Vita. So I've played it forever.
You haven't played since what, like Generations?
Yeah,
I think Generations. Yeah, so I haven't played one in forever. So it's like, okay, let me learn how to play the game and get through it. If I don't like I got the game for free, so I don't feel bad if I don't like the controls of it. If the game is controlled the way I like it, I'm just gonna leave. If I can't just, that's about it. So that's what I'm gonna do.
But getting back to the game, it's just, I can't put it into words. It's just frustration, because here's Capcom going, this is our fastest selling game. This game has sold so many copies of Monster Hunter. It is on pace to surpass Monster Hunter World, which did great after months of having performance issues. But they addressed, they were very transparent then. Especially on the PC side, they're like, we know we're doing this. While Capcom is being completely quiet, they're not saying anything. Meanwhile, people are going, this game is terrible because of the performance. And that really pisses me off, not just as someone who reviews a game, but somebody who plays these games, because you're letting this game, which is, I feel, is one of your better Monster titles, go to shit because you are not addressing the underlying performance issues. Now, I get it. You're working on Onimusha, you're working on Resident Evil 9, you're working on Street Fighter 6, you're working on
they're at least a season for Street Fighter 6. You need to make more content for it.
But you're still working on it. You're still doing updates. Your Street Fighter's getting more updates than Wilds is getting. But yet, this is your fastest selling game? You're on the mountaintops going, this is amazing! And it's like, okay, great, but it runs like ass. Please fix this. and now you're getting review bombed to hell and back. Yesterday, when 2 days ago, I wrote this article. It was sitting at 100,000 negative reviews. So I'm firing up Steam now to see where it's at now. And
Jeez.
And that right there, the G's part. Yes, that right there is the frustrating part. So let's see where we're at, Monster Hunter Wilds. No, right. Story Wilds.
And there's the funny thing about it to me is like I feel like this is like one of those like patience issues. Like, so as somebody who plays Final Fantasy 14, I feel like that community during 7.0, which is Dawn Trail, to about 7.2, the amount of doom scrolling and doom posting was insane for every class. I think I was telling Scott a couple of this. Black Mage is dead. Me. Oh my god, it's not a dead class. It's just picked over strong. There's a whole bunch of things. And like they killed the complexity of Black Mage because the timers.
You don't even need to explain that to me. I played World of Warcraft and I played the Warrior, which was crap tier, and then I played the Shaman, which was like, why are you playing the Shaman? Like, because the Shaman is freaking awesome. So that one time they got chain lightning and it can kill everything. And then they're like, no, we can't have this.
Yeah, you had it too long. That's kind of the issue.
So it's sitting at overwhelmingly negative, and it has 106,000 negative reviews now.
Yeah, is it
so
mixed?
As of
is it
mixed or 1,000 more reviews?
Like, what is it? Is it mixed? Is it mixed in like a?
The overall is mixed, but it's
mixed. Overall is mixed, but everything thus far has been overwhelmingly negative.
The recent reviews aren't negative, especially. Yeah.
Oh god.
And there's just like, I got tired of playing this game at 10 and 20 frames per second. I like the new mechanics, especially for the bow, but the game runs poorly. This game needs to cook for an additional 1 to 2 years. Monster Hunter World is way too short, too easy, too streamlined, too expensive, runs like trash.
Yes, too easy, too streamlined. It took away my parents. It killed my dog. I understand.
Now, I will say this: there are a lot of things, and I've seen some higher up people in the gaming space that said some things about the game that didn't realize that this stuff was already in Monster Hunter World. So it's like, what are you talking about? This was already there. You just either didn't know what you were talking about or didn't pay attention. Well, take your pick.
Welcome to modern gaming where people will talk without reading anything. I remember there was a Sonic Origin people said like, oh, you can't adjust the audio. The game is booty. And I'm like, option right here. There we go.
So it's frustrating for me because I'm a big fan of Monster Hunter Worlds and Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter Generations and Monster Hunter Ultimate. I love Monster Hunter. I think it's one of the best Monster Hunter games out there. That isn't dead. Hello, Koei Tecmo. So for Capcom to go and just ignore the frustrations of people saying the game is running terribly, there's a problem. And I like Capcom as a developer, but when you're doing this and you're working on your new games and you're letting this massive game go to shit, and I bet you anything, Scott, that the issues with, at least on the PC side of thing, is the Nouveau, which is in the game.
I'm sure that adds a lot of problems.
I'm pretty sure it's like every issue that I'm looking at thus far, even on the forums, is the game is poorly optimized. The game runs like trap. The new drivers don't have help. Crash. I filed for a refund. Like,
yeah,
it's not good. It's not good. And this is not me complaining to complain. People, if you don't know me by now, I complain about stuff because I care. I'm passionate. I like to see shit working. Either when it's from the PlayStation Network crap that I was told that I should not complain about, or games not running properly, or people being treated like crap. I don't like it. And this is just another thing. And it's even more because, yes, we got a copy of the game for free. It doesn't mean I'm not upset about the game running like trash. Yeah. It doesn't mean I can't be mad about everybody else who purchased this game running like trash. Because honestly, at the end of the day, it makes me feel like a liar. Because I did the review and I said, okay, look, the performance isn't that bad. But I said also, when I was reviewing the game, it was just me and a handful of other people. And I did say that I hope it doesn't get worse when more people jump on the servers. It got worse when people jump on the servers. Holy crap, Capcom. I don't know what else to tell you. Please address the issues with Monster Hunter Wilds. It needs to be fixed. This is a fantastic game. People that are bitching about the game being streamlined just have not played the other Monster Hunter games. Well, they don't like the fact that
say
things
it's a
are
streamline issue. I actually get upset by people because they don't understand game design or how things work. One of the more famous stupid thing people said was a person actually said about like, the remaster of Silent Hill 2 has the over-shoulder camera, ruins the game, horrible design. The developer came out and said, actually, this was my vision. That old design was terrible back in the day. Blah, blah, blah. That's it. When I play Final Fantasy 14, new Black Mage is terrible. No, it's not, because they streamline the design and timers. You know why? Because everyone has different server ticks. If I have to manage 15 seconds for every spell while casting Fire 4, which is the big point of Black Mage, 3 times, and then be able to make sure I have enough so I cast Despair or into Flare Star every 15 seconds while managing my Xenoglossy gear, the Zygote, I think a timer is kind of bullshit. And I think removing that will actually make people play the class, even though Black Mage is a hard class to play. But this timer stuff is also hard to manage, because if you miss the spell by 1 or 2 seconds, you lose the entire rotation. But yeah, it's good design though. Moron. Streamlined.
I think going back to the streamlining thing, as you touched on, I think a lot of developers back in the day had visions for the game, and they just could not implement those visions. And either with time constraints or technology constraints, they just couldn't do it. Now, like, hey, we're doing this, or you've read the complaints of people who played your past games and went, look, I don't want to do this. I don't want to have to keep running back to town to get items. I want stuff to be delivered to me automatically. I don't like the fact that I have to go back to the camp to fight a monster and go back out, where I can go out in the field now and fight monsters. The fact that you were roaming the world and you could start a new mission in the world is fantastic. Why are you complaining about that?
No, exactly. I had to just say it. Like I said, welcome to the gun show. Like, it's, to me, that's in my opinion one of the core problems of people not understanding. Like, streamline also helps design as well the game player run faster. And there's a bunch of other reasons why certain design philosophies kind of ebb at the face side or just isn't applicable modernly. And they don't want to admit that. Like, tank controls, if you like that, sure, but you think people actually like pressing 4 buttons to walk around in a circle? How do you think that feels as a game? It's like, stuff like that. Like, people want to put the thinking,
People just like making things harder on themselves for some reason.
Right, which adds to the reason why I said I don't play video games, for de-stress, because I'm making it harder on myself by putting these little challenges on me. Like, I think it was a bad idea for me wasting half a night thinking I could do sub 10 minutes in Albertsum. I think that's a little crazy of me. I don't think it was a good idea, but I did it. I did not hit sub 10 though. Did not do it. I don't recommend it.
Tried. No,
I tried. Yeah, I tried. I really did. I really did.
That's what matters.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So that's the thing there. Fix your game, please, Capcom. Please, really fix this damn game. It really needs to be fixed. You should not be letting this game
idle
fall from its brace the way you are. It's not cool. Fix it. You ever watch Wreck-It Ralph?
Yeah. Great movie.
Fix it. Or Futurama. There we go. Please fix it. Fix this now.
Fix it.
Speaking about fixing things, I know a game that you like, Matt, that Splitgate 2. It's not doing too well.
Yeah, not doing too well. Pretty much. I played a couple of it. It's like, that guy put his foot in his mouth in a way that I can't believe was possible. Like, I would in his mouth is mid glizzy. That's why guys say he invented the new.
I would never, with the political state of this country, I would have never wore that kind of hat.
Oh, the hat? Oh, I don't even talk about the hat. The hat's like nothing to me. I'm talking about everything to the after that. Let's
talk about that. The hat was the big thing, but following that is the fall. I enjoyed Splitgate. I enjoyed the first Splitgate. I really did. And then it was just like goodbye. Like, wait, what happened? What happened to the game? Why did you drop support for the game? Oh, we're working on 2. Okay, great, 2. And I don't know what happened with 2, but you played a lot of 2, so hey, let's talk about 2.
Yeah, so Splitgate 2, the issue with the game is a lot of things going on. So he released a DLC that cost like $1 bazillion. And he, instead of like owning up to how he messed up, which is very mature, he blamed a developer of the game. And I'm gonna say this as politely as possible. Oh, that developer was a Call of Duty developer. I'm like, I'm caught. All right, I'm out. Hands up. Caught. Like, I never heard that said before in my life. That, like, I never heard that before in my life. As a human being, I've been living on this planet for a very long time. It was a Call of Duty developer. This podcast came out late, not because of Keith's livelihood or things happening with technology. It was a Call of Duty developer. Just say that.
Can I do that next time? It was a Call of Duty developer while the stream was late.
It was a Call of Duty developer. You could just openly say that.
I'm gonna do that
like,
next time. I'm gonna do that shit next time too.
Sorry, the review's late. It was a Call of Duty developer.
Yeah,
totally gonna do that, and it'll be awesome. And then somebody will get that reference.
Yeah, and it's actually like freaking insane that he said that, and that's what kind of hurt the game as well. And him Splitgate 2. Also, I'm not gonna do anything modern game developers do. I'm not gonna do any of that modern stuff. Has a battle royale mode. I don't know how much more modern you can get than a battle fucking royale. I'm like,
Can I say I'm tired of those games? I'm tired of those kind of games. I just still tired of those.
Those games are pick up and playable. They just throw yourself in there, blah blah blah. That's all it is. It's like quick play. It's like quick play without the people aspect.
I'm still tired of it.
Yeah, I know. But here's the point. He won't do anything at all, that has modern game design. He's bringing old school shooters back. He has microtransactions in this game. The freemium battle pass offers almost nothing compared to the paid battle pass. Hell,
the fact that it even has a battle pass should already say what it needs.
Like, bro, I get more from when Marvel gives out the free passes occasionally for the little achievement thing than I get from this. Speaking of which, I got the 3 mind kill with Penny Parker achievement the other night, so I guess I am also too an Oppenheimer enjoyer.
But can we go back real quick? Oh man,
I'm thinking of a joke about it's like this is like this man has put his foot in his mouth mid glizzy. Like he has.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
the foot in his mouth is just a small thing as to what has happened to its company. So 1047 is it 1047 or 1047? How do you want to pronounce the game or the name? They are now
1938. Who cares, man?
They are now laying off employees because the game is doing so poorly. And who is it? Is it the co-founder? I don't know. 2 of the higher-end people are not getting paid. Think about that for a second. That's the first time I've heard that outside of Japan.
Yeah.
Where high-end people, the people up there, are not getting paid because the game did poorly.
Yep, exactly.
And the fact that your game is doing so poor that you're letting go employees, which isn't unheard of anymore. I mean, like, even when your game does good, you let go of employees. So
he's letting go employees and he's cutting his salary to keep it going because I think he's hit the end of his projects and the marketing and blah, blah, blah. The point is that Splitgate 2 is a very niche game. People who like Splitgate, like arena-style shooters and everything from it. I still think a lot of the problem with Splitgate 1 and Splitgate 2, such as people becoming both you guys are assuming this new slang, lobby admins or holding a lobby hostage. So basically, there's a couple of abilities that can hold a lobby hostage. If you're playing Dominance or Team Deathmatch and you find the BFB, the big effing bat, you could hold a lobby hostage with portals and dash attacks and just murder people one shot. It is a melee, and I know it's not broken, but you can hold the lobby hostage consistently. There are ways to get around the limited range because of portals and movement. So, yes, that problem for Splitgate 1 is still not as bad as Splitgate 2, but it's still a thing that happens. That holds a lobby hostage. There are, because of how the weaponry work, hostage. The 3 class system, not all of them really balanced. Meridian is only strong if you max them out, but when you're playing them, it's complete butt crap. Again, instead of addressing the game more consistent and playable, because it's a niche, he's went this direction. So, you know what? I wish him the best of work. I wish him the best of his life.
How do you feel about Splitgate 2?
It's
as a whole?
It's a 3.5 out of 5 for me. I'm being quite seriously. It could be a 4,
So you
but
enjoy it.
3.5, yeah.
I haven't played it. I know a lot of PR people were hitting me up asking me if I want to play the game. I was like, no, I don't think I'm gonna, because I like the way they handle Splitgate 1. So
the thing is,
I didn't
like,
want
the problem with Splitgate 2 is that like some of the problems with Splitgate 1 there, it has more modes and more playable stuff. It's fun. I do like the medal system; it's funny and everything. But the problem is that like I don't know how many people are playing it now to get the numbers up. But the issue is that like the fact that this guy kind of like, in my opinion, like there's no reason for me to log in to play Splitgate to unlock any rewards because all the rewards are tied to microtransactions. It's just cosmetics. Cosmetics get people playing. Do you know how many people bought that Squirrel Girl Beach Girl costume? That's all I gotta say. And by the way,
well, there are fetishes and then there are microtransactions.
Yeah, it's not sedative. She's the best girl. She's Squirrel. She's unbeatable. She beats Galacticus for God's sake. So respect on her name. On the fucking game, put respect on it. But unironically, like,
as I said,
but unironically, like there are reasons why people play the game. Like there was Marvel will give a season. Like I think the last Battle Chest pass they did is that they gave people a free green coin. I think it was a free, if you bought it for like $3, a free green coin allows you to get free costume. That was enough for people to put $3 down. That's what I'm saying. So, in my honest opinion, is that like cosmetics get people to play. You're giving out people nothing. People don't play for love of the game. They play for something more than love of the game. Okay. So you have it's slim pickings. I can boot up Splitgate 2 right now and read all my rewards I'll get if I complete everything for a day, and it's like jack nothing.
That's sad.
Yeah, exactly. Unless I buy the premium pass, which I'm not going to.
No, don't buy the pass.
And you cannot use your.
I guess the game is going to continue to flounder. Then I guess.
Oh yeah. By the way, also Marvel Rivals peak. Oh, juggling peak. So after you complete the battle pass, if you purchase it, if you blah blah blah, keep the battle pass. Every 1,000 purple coins you get can be used to get 100. You get 100 blue tokens, which is $1. Blue tokens can be used to buy skins and the next battle pass. You also get blue tokens in the battle pass up to about $3 to $5 worth of it. So again, you're giving me nothing to play this game. I have to play the game for the love of the game. They're trying to maximize by giving nothing. It is a fun game. But after the game fun ends, what else am I playing for? I hate to say it means a gotcha me, okay? You give me that Genshin Impact roll.
It's a gotcha machine.
You gotta gotcha me, baby. And I hate to say it, but you gotta give me some reason to log in the game. Because after this podcast is over, I'm doing my dailies in Rivals. I'm not doing my dailies in Splitgate. That's all I gotta say. It's actual cinema.
Well, that right there, folks, is a great example why Splitgate 2 is not doing well, and unfortunately, there's just too many good shooters out in the market right now. I definitely don't think releasing a shooter in this day and age is a smart idea.
No,
you got to compete against the crowd.
The problem is this.
You got to make it unique that it can compete against the ones that are out there, and that's a big problem. A lot of them just don't do that. Now look at the indie one. I can't remember this. The PI one with the cartoon styling.
Oh, like the mouse one, the PI mouse.
Mousy or that's a boomer shooter. That's like, are you listening to about Fallen Aces?
It's still a shooter. It's still a shooter.
That's not you're being a little the difference between.
I'm trying to throw out an example here as what things that you can do within the shooter genre to make your game stand out. And I don't think Splitgate 2 has it.
I mean, it does. It's a unique arena shooter, but again, arena shooters are niche. I mean, who like for example, there are better arena shooters out there that are roguelikes. Battle Shapers. God, what did I play? Oddcore is a demo I played recently. That's another arena shooter. Peak,
And I'm not saying that arena shooters are bad. I grew up in the era of arena shooters. Again, Quake and Unreal Tournament. Those were my jam. I played Unreal Tournament until they pulled the servers offline. Mm-hmm. So I love my arena shooters. It's just, I have not had one pull me in since Unreal Tournament. I thought that Splitgate 1 was fine. I thought it had some issues, but it was fun. But I haven't found anything to literally pull me in. So I don't know what to say on top of that. Bring back Unreal Tournament Epic. I'm just waiting for that.
If they care, I mean, maybe they'll bring it back to. Maybe
they were going to bring it back, and then they were bringing it back, and then they were like, "Screw it, we're not doing it anymore."
I think they're gonna bring it back in order to save their Epic Game Store. You know, that's what they're gonna do. They'll bring it back to save their Game Store.
I mean, that's what Fortnite's for. I mean,
yeah, but come on, they you know, it's Epic. They're people. That's all of it is. That they're people.
They're something. We won't go into that. I'll be here for hours. I got a lot of stuff to say about the game, and a certain someone there. So I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
You won't talk.
Yeah, we're talking about Max Douglas. I know what he's talking about. I'm not a fan of Max Douglas either.
So, as I alluded to, I had something that I wanted to talk about regarding the show, and I actually had talked to someone a while ago regarding our wonderful outlet called the Outerhaven, and the question was like, where did this come from? Where did the Outerhaven come from? And it's an interesting story, but I'm going to condense it real quick. And not sure if there's things that you may know, Scott, or Matt's been around a lot longer, so he knows a little bit about where we came from. So a long time ago, for galaxy far, far away, there was this guy named Keith Mitchell who ran game servers for Unreal Tournament and Quake. What a coincidence. We just got done talking about those.
No.
And I had a website where I hosted servers, and I hosted 2 Unreal servers and Quake server, and I had a website where I hosted maps before other big places started doing the same thing. So think about what Nexus Mods does, but on a very smaller scale. Eventually, I got out of that, and I started working on hosting video game music, because back then it wasn't as big as it is now. Now we have like Spotify and Amazon Music and Apple Music, all these places hosting game music. But back then, it wasn't a thing.
Yeah, I'd hope someone randomly uploaded AMV with it on YouTube.
Yeah, you would get a MIDI, or you would get the OGS, or you would get the WAV file.
Right, at best, you had like overclock remix. It was like the early era, like people making their own remixes, but it wasn't a thing. Yeah.
Exactly. So I hosted a server. It became pretty big. It was called shadowhackers.net. Yes, I named it after myself. And I hosted it for about 10, 12 years. And it was good. I never had any issues with any of the big people. Nintendo, actually, no, I take that back. Nintendo did reach out to me once. I hosted a soundtrack for Donkey Kong, and they were like, take that down. Ironically, I hosted a shit ton of Mario soundtracks, and they had no issues with those.
Just Donkey Kong.
They were just like, take down Donkey Kong. Take down Donkey Kong. And I was like, all right, whatever, dude. So, crap ton of soundtracks on there. Eventually, some of the people on there were like, we should probably start talking about gaming stuff. And you were like, yeah, that'd be a cool idea. So we started doing a couple of podcasts. From there, it went to, hey, I would like to maybe start writing about games. And at that point, I was like, look, if we really are going to do this, then Shadowhackers.net needs to go away. Simply because that is a gray area, and nobody is going to take us seriously if we're doing this and also doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So Shadowhackers.net started going away. And then we focused more on the Outerhaven.net, and we were just throwing things against the wall, trying to figure out where we were staying, what we were going to do. And this was more of a couple of guys. It was a person named Neff, Matt, Brandon, Carlos, and myself. And we just kept throwing things against the wall to figure out what stuck. And the basis of what the Outerhaven was born. Obviously, it wasn't super professional, but it was what we were doing. None of us knew what a game journalist was. And fast forward, we've been here 14 years.
14 years is what it says on the shirts.
It's been pretty cool. It's been a pretty cool experience. And the one thing I like to talk about when I talk to people about this was, one of the big things I wanted to point out when this site was started was with people who look like me. And back then, there weren't any sites that had people that look like me in the gaming industry. There's a bunch of them now, but when I started doing this, and there's a lot of things that they don't realize when they go, I've been doing this for X amount of years. Okay, bro, I've been doing this a lot longer than you. You just got lucky. I've been doing this for a lot longer than you have. And I love the fact that when I talk about it, I can say this was a Black started organization. And it still is. And it's not to be disrespectful to anybody. It's just, it's harder. I want to say it's a lot harder. And it's a lot harder to get recognized out in this space. And for people that are asking, how did you do this? How did you do this? Luck. Some of it's luck. A lot of it's hard work. A lot of it was luckily because I'm a technical person. I'm in the IT space. I was able to do a lot of my work. I did a lot of the coding and working with the WordPresses and dealing with the servers and dealing with the website stuff. I did all that. So that was a big relief. We didn't have to go hire anybody to do it. It was, it is an experiment. It's an ongoing experiment that's constantly evolving. And it's been a fun experience thus far. It's been frustrating a lot of times. I'm not going to lie and say it hasn't been frustrating, but as Scott can allude to, and I can allude to, Summer Game Fest 2 years in a row. We got invited to E3. We got invited to Gamescom a couple times. I'm not taking the fight to Gamescom. Not happening. I think when we talked to the guys, what was it? King of Meat.
Yeah.
He said, what did he say? How long did he say it was? I think he was like 17 hours or something
like that. It was a long
flight.
No love for Germany. I know, right?
I said, I can't do that. No. But one of my dreams, obviously, is to go over to Tokyo Game Show. So I'm eventually going to have to bite the bullet. A-Team. You know how you always have to put B.A. Baracus to sleep to get him to fly? You're going to have to put my ass to sleep because I'm not getting on that plane. I'm not. 5 hours, I got that. 17? No, I can't do that. I don't know. Especially flying over all that water. That shit in my head is like, now, bro can't swim. And I don't definitely know. I can't do it.
Plus, swimming in the ocean is a whole lot harder than swimming in a swimming pool.
I can't swim. I've tried. I drop. I go into a pool and I just sink.
Gotcha.
So I can't swim. So, no, it's not happening. Sorry. But yeah, it's been a fun experience. I don't know if you guys have anything you want to say about it, but I love the fact that we're still here. We're still doing good things. People are recognizing what we do, not just people in our space. We got PR people that are looking at us going, hey, I know you guys do great work. And there's nothing better. Well, there's a couple things better, but in terms of that, there's nothing better than having somebody come up to you and go, I know who you are. Or when you're sitting down eating food and they come back around and go, hey,
that was fun.
It's like, oh, hey, what's going on? Like that's cool. That's really cool. And before I end up bowing out of this and passing it over to somebody else, what we are doing, not me, what we are doing, because I always say that this is a shared entity. Everybody here is involved. It belongs to everybody. It has been a hell of an adventure thus far, and I enjoy it. So I know a lot of people had asked me about this. So if you hear this podcast or this video cast or whatever this is, now you know. And knowing is half the battle. So what is the other half?
That's what G.I. Joe says.
And yeah, exactly. So what's the other half? I don't know.
Winning.
I guess.
I mean, when you say that, they wouldn't fight afterwards. You clearly haven't watched the cartoons, my friend.
So if there's anything that you two gentlemen would like to add on to that or have questions about that, I'm here to answer any and all questions about this. I know maybe some people have some questions about us in general, but I don't know what we are in terms of the space. People are always asking, so what do you think you are? Are you press or are you influencers? I think we're a little bit of both.
I don't
know.
If people are influenced by my take or point-click adventure games, I think the world will be a better place. That's all I gotta start. Play Rosewater. It's really good. That's all I have to say. That's what I'm hoping for. And if people are inspired by an RPG segment, I'm not a fan of Reen. It made it to like the 7 episodes. I think Reen's not my favorite Trails heroes, though. Sorry to break your heart there. He's not my favorite. But Estelle, though, she can save the world. I believe her. She actually ended the Crossbow War, according to Trails of Disperse, Yeah, Scott knows. Yeah, he knows. But no, I feel like we occupy a very interesting space. Like, we're fans of the medium, and we also report on it. So I respect that much of what we do. So we're
like in a crossroads. We intersect among multiple niches, genres,
Niches,
categories.
categories, sandwiches,
All
it's
work.
good, yeah, all work. Yeah, all work is good work.
So, it's good and it's bad. It's frustrating and it's great. When they'll go, "Hey, do you want to work with us?" Fuck. Or when they go, "We don't want to talk to you." PlayStation.
Like, I would
I
never
would
say
never
that.
not live that down.
I mean, you really should be saying that unironically. It's like, look, man, things are things. I'll leave it as that.
I'll leave it. I know what I'm going to say because that's the running joke. It's never going to happen, and I don't care. I don't care anymore. We're doing good for what we are, and I understand the industry and I understand how things work, and if there are people out there that only work with certain things, and I understand that. I don't have any hard feelings or frustrations, but I will joke about it because it's fun. I'm going to joke about stuff that angers me sometimes, because if I can't laugh at things that are frustrating me, then it's going to eat me up. Just like this country. I got to laugh at it sometimes. It's like, okay, whatever. And just keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. That's it. Unless you gentlemen have anything that you would like to add to episode 191 of Spectator Mode Podcast. We are almost at 200. Believe that or not.
Crazy. I guess if we're going back to the beginning of the roots of the Outerhaven, I do want to have one question for both of you. What was the very first game that you reviewed on the site?
Oh, my God.
Let me see. The first game I reviewed for the site, I think it was... it was either between... Actually, no, I never did reviews in my early phases. In my early phases, I was focusing on reviewing comic books and manga, and I was interviewing FGC people when I was getting Clint. I interviewed Super NorCal Regionals. I think I done a hype piece for another place at the time for other places, but I never got into reviewing in the early years. In the early years, I was more focusing on like just comics, manga, and that stuff, because I have an in that. And interviewing FGC personalities like, Lord Knight, Steve, and other people, I was trying to promote like local tournaments I care about. That's what I wanted to do it for. So platform for that. So that was me in the early days. But I don't think I reviewed any games until I want to say my second comeback after I finished college. That's right there, Keith. Like I didn't start reviewing games until I came back from college. Yeah.
I can tell you exactly what game it was. It was a mobile shooter with zombies on the Android called Dead Trigger 2.
Oh, okay.
That was you? That was your first review?
Big.
Yeah. I didn't get that. Nope. Nope. So, yeah, if you check out my early interviews, that's on the YouTube page or the Outerhaven, that was me. I was like, shouts to, I don't know if he still talked to me or because, whatever, Chun, I know he used to run NorCal Install. I'm still friends with NorCal community. If I see him, nice, shouts to Payne and all those guys, really nice people. Tone, good friend, Anime, it was all that stuff. A lot of people changed, like Dexter, bro. I think got a job into voice acting. I think he does voice acting now and other stuff. Used to commentating. So yeah, the anime scene, like I was hanging around that time. So yeah, but that's what I was doing.
And to add to that, it's not that we're just a site. I don't want to say small site, up and coming site, whatever you want to call it. But we actually had some people that got their start here. Mm-hmm. We had one person who worked here. Who went on to work at Rockstar.
Mm-hmm.
We had another person here who screwed up a lot. I won't name that person's name. Who went to go work for PlayStation. Remember that person, Matt?
That person, yeah, I remember people, but I don't talk about people, because how it get.
Yeah, I'm not mentioning the names.
Yeah,
so
I'm a forgiving man. I don't really forgive forgiveness. How I feel.
we had another person who went to go off and work on another larger website. I don't know what happened to him. But yeah, it's been interesting. We had a lot of people who got their start here who ended up going other places, and that's what it is. If anybody here was like, look, I got an opportunity to go somewhere else. This is what it is. You're here to learn. And if you go find something bigger and or better, I'm never going to stop you. Go get that money. Go get that fame. Go get everything. Go. Hell yes. It is what it is. Guaranteed, if I got a job working at Google, I'm like, hey guys, I gotta bounce. Sorry, I'm out.
Oh no.
But yeah, I just wanted to give a quick little
Or yeah, where I don't care if you bounce. I don't know if you care. You can't get bounced to freaking to Palpatine. I don't care, man. As long as I get that goo ad in revenue, that's all I care about.
Did you say do-rag?
No, Palpatine. If you know who they are, you know they are. You bounce to Palpatine. I don't even care if you bounce to them. As long as I get my Google ad money, that's all I care about.
Google ad money, jeez. That said, folks, episode 191 of Spectator Mode Podcast. As always, you can find us over at Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts, Buzzsprout, and wherever else you can find podcasts. Always check us out over at outerhaven.net. That's www.theouterhaven.net. You can check out our great news and reviews and previews and editorials over there. I got a good one about Monster Hunter Wilds. Almost at Worlds again. We also have a review of game that just came out. We won't mention it because there's a lot of games that came out recently. So you have to go over there to find out what game I am referring to. Also, great work over there from Matt, also from Scott. We did a lot of coverage over at Summer Game Fest, and we're still doing it. We're not done yet. Unbelievable. We're still doing stuff for Summer Game
Yes.
Fest. Jeez. Anyway, thanks for checking us out. As always, if you like what we do and you're checking us out on YouTube, maybe leave a comment, maybe subscribe to the channel, listen to over at Apple Podcasts, maybe leave a review on how much you love these guys, that they're the best people out there, and you always listen to our show. But whatever you do, just give the show a watch and or listen. All right? Thanks for watching or listening, and we will talk to you next time.
See ya.